We have Professor Jiang, guys. We are learning so much. Okay? We are learning. If you guys jump into my stream and want to do dumb shit and see and talk about goy slop, this isn't the stream. This is a high IQ stream today, guys.
Mycenaean civilization is their tombs are very, very elaborate. Okay, this is the entrance into one of their tombs. Over time, we see the tombs become more and more elaborate. So we know that over time they became a much more wealthy civilization. This is what their tombs look like. They're huge places. Okay, this is what.
So y'all niggas got all this money to just build an empty space? Huh? All that money just to go, you know what? Screw furniture, bro. Let's go with the minimalist design.
What the outside looks like. Where did the Mycenaeans learn this? Well, they learned this in Egypt, right? So at this time in history, the Mycenaeans and the Egyptians were in close contact with each other. The Egyptians have a habit of burying themselves with all their treasure, okay? So this is their coffin. This is a mastaba, which is their tomb, okay? As you can see, it's huge. It's almost as big as a house. So the question then is, why would they do that, okay? We've discussed it previously where throughout most of human history, we've understood that this is a material realm, and then once we die, we go to the spiritual realm. Guess what, guys? You can't take your money with you. So why are you burying your money?
So these niggas thought they could take their money with them, man. They said, they listened to all the rap lyrics and said, you know what? These rappers have a point. Let's just spend this shit right now. Let's spend it. We'll re-up if we need to, but let's just spend that shit. Get rid of it. Blow a bag, bro. Yo, blow a bag.
With you, right? Okay, this is a mastaba. Okay, as you can see, it's a very elaborate, ornate place, and the Egyptians were known for this. But also China, right? The first emperor of China, the terracotta warriors. Why is he buried with an army and such wealth? That makes no sense. If you die, you die. So why is this happening? So the argument I want to make.
Y'all niggas took all the stuff from this man's tomb and brought it into a warehouse. He didn't. Did he ask for that?
To you is that. This is happening because money, capital, too much of it changes the fundamental chemistry of the brain. It makes you crazy, okay? So let's do a thought experiment, okay? The thought experiment is this.
So my mom was right when she said, ils ont trop d'argent, ça commence à leur déranger. That literally translates in French to, it's like they have so much money that it starts to bother them. So they need to find ways, elaborate and more peculiar ways to start spending it and doing dumb shit, essentially.
Let's just say Satan were to come into this room and said, hey, I'll give you—
Shaitan! Stay away, Shaitan!
You guys $1 billion, but you have to live forever and you have to be my slave forever. You'd be like, no, why would we want that? You know, like to have $1 billion?
I know there's like 3 of you niggas watching right now that would jump on that opportunity, you foots.
But then be a slave for all eternity like Satan? No. But, okay, let's assume we are the richest people on earth. We all have $10 billion, right? Now Satan says to us, you know what? $10 billion is a lot of money. I'm sure you enjoy your life, but you're gonna die. When you die, you can't take that money with you. But hey, I can make you live forever. I will let you keep this money, but you have to be my slave for all eternity. Do you agree? We would agree. That's the difference. You see what's happened, right? Money makes people crazy, all right? So bronze, okay, so remember, bronze started off as just a weapon in order to obtain power. But then over time, as powerful people became more stable in their lives, they used bronze to make jewelry and pottery to show their status, okay? And then over time, because rich people wanted it, everyone wanted it, and so bronze just became a currency, wealth. And it was just easy to store, universally recognized, and mobile. And this happened over centuries, over 100 years. Okay, that's a pattern here, all right? So this is a map, a table that shows you how capital is formed. Okay, so capital needs to have universality. The more people want it, the more valuable it is. It has to be able to it has to store value, okay? It has to be permanent, okay? Does that make sense? It has to be.
Yeah, this used to be the old system, the gold standard, which is why we had the gold standard until Reagan and them decided to take us off the gold standard so that they could, this would what allowed them to print more money. The economy used to be stable, all right? It used to be, you can only have as much money in the Federal Reserve as you have in gold. And so you couldn't print more than you had because it had to equate the value of gold in storage, right? This is what didn't allow the US government to print more. But then they said, let's get off the gold standard so then we can just print money when we need it. And this is what devalues the money, which is why everything is so expensive now because our money has no value. This is why you could buy milk and eggs for 15 cents in the 70s. And now it's like $10. That's why niggas are all saying, oh no, we're vegan now. No, nigga, you're not vegan because you don't like animal products, nigga. You're vegan because y'all niggas are broke. Let's be real.
Mobile, it has to be available, okay? It has to be rare enough. So once it has these different elements, then it becomes a currency. So if you just look at history, we've used different sources of currency. So we have seashells, cattle, grain, woman, slaves, drugs, oil, bronze, gold, and US dollar. We've always had money as a concept, okay? But money, for most of human history, signified a debt that could not be paid off, okay? So David Graeber, who's an ethnologist, he wrote about this in his book, Debt. Why did we create money as a concept? Because there were certain transactions in which there was so much debt you couldn't pay it off, okay? So like most of human interactions, it's just reciprocal, right? So you help me, I help you, okay? But there are three things in which the debt can't be really paid off, okay? The first example is, let's just say I kill your brother. Well, now you come kill me, right? And you kill me, then my family's gonna go kill you, okay? And it creates a vicious cycle of vengeance, right? So the way to
Street things. This is street knowledge for you guys, in case you're wondering what this is. You think these gangsters in the streets, they do what they do because they love it? No. They do it because the uncle of an uncle of a brother of a cousin did that to another gang, and this did dumb shit.
To get rid of this problem is, if I kill your brother, I acknowledge that it's a debt I can be
Look at that. And who's in the video? Blacks. God damn
paid off. So I give you something valuable. It could be gold, it could be jewelry, it could be anything, okay? All right, so that's what money is. That's the first example. Second example is, if a woman marries into your family, right, then that's also a debt that can be paid off, because you've just taken away a daughter. So you give me a gift, maybe some gold, or maybe a cow, a horse, it doesn't matter, okay? That's the second example of a debt that can be paid off. The third example, and this is a really important example, is, let's just say that you have a great person in the community. He's a great leader, or he's a great priest, or he's just a great person in general, and he's done a lot for you. But he dies. What do you do then? What you do is you bury him with gifts, with gold, with money, okay? And so it's a monument to his legacy.
Nigga, I'll be if I go to somebody's funeral and you expect me to throw a couple dollars in the coffin, bro. Nigga, shut up.
You know that he can't take the stuff with him to the other world, but it doesn't matter. All you're doing is you're acknowledging his contribution to your community. And that's why when you think of...
Oh! I'm sorry. Then I guess I'll put something else of value in the coffin then. Excuse me.
Graves in ancient times, you'll see people buried with gold, because the community is acknowledging.
I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not a piece of shit.
We will forever remember him, and so the money is a way to acknowledge this fact. Okay, does that make sense? All right. So for most of human history, that's what we use money for, as to symbolize money that cannot be paid off. But then over time, as society became more sophisticated, we use other forms of currency. Okay, and as you can see, all these different forms of currency. Okay, whether it's seashells, cattle, grain, women, drugs, oil, it doesn't really work in terms of universality, sword value, and mobility. But bronze does. Okay, and after bronze, gold does. And then after gold, today we have the US dollar. It doesn't make sense. So once you have an universally accepted currency, you can now have globalization. And so bronze was a major discovery which allowed for globalization. You're right, okay? Drugs can be a currency. The problem is that it's not universally accepted, okay? And also the problem with drugs, of course, is it causes a lot of problems to your society. So think of opium in China. And it's hard, yeah, it creates a lot of problems. So it can't be universally accepted. In fact, most countries would ban drugs. But at the same time, you're right in that it is valuable. It's a store of value. So you guys don't know this. There are lots of governments that have secret supplies of drugs. Because if the world falls apart and you need to rebuild society, you need wealth, right? So gold, you need gold, but guess what? Drugs is also a form of wealth because people want it, okay? People crave it, right? So is this clear, right? So once you have a universally accepted currency, you have the basis for globalization, and globalization happens naturally as a result. All right, so capital is just a monetization of power. That's all it is. And you can have any form of capital, okay? The problem with capital is that it exploits, it alienates, and it consolidates, okay? So go back to an example where I'm the leader of a village. If there's no money involved, all I care about is winning the respect of my people. Okay? And so I work hard for them. But once capital is involved, I see each person as a commodity, okay? And therefore I become...
Which is why they always say absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right. If you're on a value-based system and there is no actual money, the idea of money, the concept of money, then you actually do things that will actually better your people, like you stated, right? So, unfortunately, now that the idea of money was created, now people stop doing things in the sense of like, oh, I'm actually going to do this because I actually care. No, it's because of greed. You start playing into the 7 sins, which is why the idea and concept of money has always been very peculiar to me, because I've always sort of stated, been like, what is the idea of money? The concept of money, this idea of energy, right? It's the idea, oh, you're providing a service and then it's some sort of remuneration, it's some sort of a credit system for the service that you've done into somebody. But before money, we had spices, we had cattle. These were all different forms of currency that we had. And also the idea of, I think the reason why a lot of people are lost these days is because back in the day, it used to be whatever your family skill is, whether you guys are musicians or carpenters or fishermen, That's what you did. You did what your daddy and your grandpa and your great grandpa and so on and so forth did. So this idea of figuring what it is that you were supposed to be doing, you were supposed to be doing what your family is doing. And so this also plays into the idea of what people lost. We had our own currency. Our own currency was the value we were providing to the community. And so now this is lost because now it's, now instead of providing value to the community, here's an object that holds value, money. So whatever you can do or whoever you can screw over to get it, go right ahead. This is the problem with money, bro. It's evil. It's evil. It's demonic, bro.
Alienated from my humanity and from others. And now I want to exploit people in order to generate more capital. And over time, what will happen is that the strongest will have all the capital, which leads to massive inequality. So the only result of capitalism is one.
Also, this stupid fucking thing I just read today. Oh, the commercial artist drives past the conceptual artist in a Lamborghini. That's the gayest thing I've ever fucking read. Once again, more bullshit and more demonic ideas. Bro, stay away from these demonic people, bro. Whether it's your girlfriend or whether it's somebody in your life, stay the fuck away from these demons, bro. Satan lurks to the ones closest to you. God damn it, bro. I made such a mistake today, dude. Dealing with these ex-shorties, bro. Ugh, that was a mistake. It's the demon trying to pull me back in. Shake Khan, stay away.
Massive inequality, corruption, immorality, okay, and alienation, anger, indifference. And this is the world we live in today. Does that make sense? It's just the nature of capital. There's no way around it. Okay, so as we discussed previously, we have two different mindsets, okay? We're composed of two different individuals. We have the altruistic nature, so we care about relationships. We care about empathy. We care about creativity. And then our utilitarian side, which is all about material objectives, logic, and hard work, okay? So in school, you have the utilitarian mindset, okay? Like, how do I get good grades? That's all you care about. At home, you care about relationships. You care about maintaining good relationships with your mother and your father and your siblings and your relatives. What we also know, and it's really important, is that people
don't forget about your relationship with God.
Altruistic, people who work for others tend to be more creative than other people. But people who are obsessed with money tend to work harder than other people, okay? That's why globalization happens so fast, because everyone's in a rush to make as much money as possible, okay? But eventually you reach a point where a few people have all the money, and so everyone's like, screw this, I give up, because I'm never going to be rich. You lie flat, right? Dumping or quite quitting, you just give up, okay? And this is the world we live in today. Capitalism is a problem because it changed the fundamental nature of your brain, okay? So this is an article from the Atlantic Monthly, which is a very popular magazine in the United States. There are these neuroscientists who have done brain scans, and they discovered that power causes brain damage, okay? In fact,
you heard it here first, folks. Power causes brain damage. There it is. That phrase I literally coined earlier. I didn't coin it, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, hello, friends. 1 second. We're gonna have to end our stream today early. Make sure you don't get on stream, Kaya. 1 second.